Welcome back to another edition of Idology. I'm on a roll. Nice Kaiser roll with a piece of honeyed ham.
I'm on a roll.
We've got season 6 standout Melinda Doolittle in the house.
I'm on a roll.
Melinda, we would never book Stefano Langoni and Katy Perry prior to booking you. I'm just putting it out there.
Oh, come on. It's the best night of my life. I didn't mind it. I love Stefano.
It's catchy. It's catchy like, you know, like craft singles. We'll just put that out there. We've got to talk about Elise. Her run has finally come to an end.
It is happening again.
Elise is in the bottom three.
Bottom three.
But I thought it was fascinating this week to juxtapose her run against Phillip's. They both kind of did the same thing for their second song, The Contestant's Choice. They picked something unexpected and out there. They got Jennifer and Randy disagreeing, and yet one of them went home.
Elise.
How did it work out so poorly for Elise and so well for Phillip?
Pinky, behold the key to the power of attraction.
Your daddy let you date.
Out of the two songs, Phillip probably picked the one that would at least kind of draw people in a little more, that already kind of had a fan base. I'm trying here. I liked Elise a lot better.
Orange and young and full of daring. Very unsteady for the first go around. Well,
I thought I Want It All was really exciting and great.
I gotta shake you to the ground.
I love how everyone came up to the front on that last part of it, and she was waving that tambourine in the air.
I've got a theory. Even though Jennifer gave a better critique to Elise's performance, I think it's Jennifer who saved Phillip.
I need you to do songs that are gonna get you on that last show so you can win.
Hello.
Meanwhile, Elise gets, we thought you were great.
You're just one of the best singers in this competition.
Always like a slight question mark or a slight sense of boredom and ennui. It's not just what they're saying anymore, it's how they're saying
how,
it. So
yeah.
I do feel like the judges have evolved in that way. They can now annoy us just with the tone of their voice. I've got to respect anybody who at this point in the competition says, look, it may not appeal to the main voting block of this show, but if you buy my album, this is what you're gonna get. And for the same reason, even though I did not really particularly enjoy Phillip on the Dave Matthews Band song, I also respect the fact that he chose it. This is probably the album he's gonna release afterwards.
It's not probably, it's definitely the album he's gonna release. I mean, it's what he does. And it actually ended up being one of my favorite Phillip performances of the season.
I will go along.
And maybe it's because I feel like he was trying to make all the other songs sound like a Dave Matthews song. And so this time it was a Dave Matthews song and it worked really nicely.
I get a little bit scared when you do stuff like that.
From Elise doing Jimi Hendrix and going home, Erica dyed her hair and went home. DeAndre did sort of an obscure DeBarge song and went home. Colton tackled Gaga and went home. I kind of feel like we've gotten into this groove on the show now, and I think it started a little bit in season 10. Scotty stayed in his lane, as they like to say.
Lock them doors.
Maybe we've reached a point where the judges are discouraging people from getting out of their lane, and we're gonna just kind of have to live with that.
Lock them doors.
Let's talk about the 3 remaining ladies in the competition. I feel like Hollie's trajectory is kind of on the rise as we're going into these last few weeks of the competition.
Affirmative.
And part of me wonders, is it just because people love an underdog so much?
I think it could also be that she's one of the least polarizing contestants left, especially with those 3 girls. I mean, Jessica, it seems like people either really love her or they're like, I'm not really feeling that. And the same with Skylar. And I think Skylar is amazing, but the country vibe doesn't always go for everybody. So Hollie's like middle of the road, just kind of coasting right down the center there and kind of getting those fans that are polarized on the other contestants, I think.
Ain't about how fast I get there.
She is getting a lot better. The last 2 weeks have been significant steps forward. Out of her performances this week, I liked Save Me better than I liked The Climb. Am I out of my mind?
No, you're not, because I'm actually with you on that. She put so much like just feeling into it, and when she was bent over and like just,
I need to talk to you about the critique that Hollie got for Save Me.
I wanna see you enjoy it more. I wanna see you smile for real.
2, 3, 4, not.
It's a really, really depressing song.
yeah.
You make a living actually singing. I mean, J-Lo, I guess. Actually, let's not even go there. She makes her...
Pick your body up and drop it on the...
Whatever.
every week.
It's just like old times.
She makes her living dropping it like it's hot. Let's call a spade, okay?
Hollie actually gave the song what it needed. There were points in the song where I wish she would have opened her eyes a little more so that she could have connected with the audience for the most part, but she was in it.
Hollie, if you're watching this, and we know you are, just throw that one out. It looked on your face like it didn't make sense to you, and that's because it didn't make sense. If Hollie is on the rise, what does it mean for Jessica and Skylar? I feel like the judges are starting to slightly and slowly de-emphasize Jessica.
All in all, really, really great performance.
Bohemian Rhapsody does not benefit from being a 90-second song, so maybe it should never be picked again on Idol. But vocally, I thought she was tremendous on that song.
She was awesome.
So you think you can stop me? It's been in my eye.
I was sort of dumbfounded that J-Lo was like,
I thought you were going to be running around and we're going to get a little bit of hair throwing.
From J-Lo's perspective, a lot of what J-Lo does on stage, she has to like do a lot of action because she's not doing a ton of singing.
Don't stop. You're the worst.
Jessica was doing a lot of singing, and it's really hard to be like whipping your hair back and forth when you're trying to sing that kind of song.
I know a lot of people like Dance with My Father, but to me, I just can't handle Dance with My Father with a silhouette of somebody holding his baby up.
It might be my least favorite song ever on American Idol. Now, she sang it well, so I enjoyed it more than I expected to, but it was still Dance with My Father, so I couldn't get past that.
Here is The Show Must Go On from 18-year-old Skylar Lane.
This was a polarizing performance, and I had probably a 50-50 split of TV line readers either telling me they totally agreed with me or they thought that I had lost my damn mind. But to me, The Show Must Go On was the performance of the season. I was freaking the flip out in my living room listening to that. It was like watching the very first space shuttle take off and you didn't know if it was gonna break up in the atmosphere. And then it was like, oh my God, like we're in outer space. We've conquered outer space. That's...
If you wrote that on TV line, I can understand how that might have been polarizing.
The show must go on.
You know, and the voice, like I thought her voice was gonna break. I didn't think her voice could go to there. And then Show Must Go On and just nails that.
The show must go on.
Oh God, how did she end up in the bottom 3 for that?
Am I gonna give her song performance of the season?
Yes, you are.
I don't know if I can do that.
Can you put her in the top 10?
Oh, easily. I put her in the top 3.
Okay, I accept that.
Of songs for the season.
The second song, the Jason Aldean song, I think is a cautionary tale for Skylar. Mid-tempo songs that don't allow her to explode physically on stage or hit major notes and prove that she's in the same vocal league as Jessica, Joshua, Hollie. Mm-hmm. That's where she gets into trouble. I think it's maybe the kind of song that she's probably going to get a lot of airplay with if she recorded something like that. But I think in terms of the spectacle of Idol and what activates her fan base to vote, that kind of song is probably something she should avoid. I didn't see Skylar's bottom 3 finish coming. I was a lot more worried about Joshua. And I think the reason I'm always worried about Joshua is because the judges are standing for everything.
Everything.
Ryan's like, coming up after the break, and they're like, woohoo! And it makes me feel like Nigel is saying to them, he's only got 9 more votes than Hollie. He's in trouble.
They tweet me a lot, the people that don't like those standing ovations.
Melinda, sit your ass down in your living room.
I understand why they love his performances. I just wish that they wouldn't stand every single performance because it's turning the audience off.
They're making people angry, and I don't understand how you can be angry at Joshua after Crazy Little Thing Called Love. People talk about Phillip as the heartthrob. Joshua is up there. That was a sexy performance.
It was very like Jackie Wilson. I loved the old school microphone. I love that he dresses the part. He embodied that song.
Ready for Love, to me, was a brilliant strategic move, and Joshua has not been the best strategic contestant to date.
Right.
Not having a gospel choir come in, just restrained and showing he can respect the melody.
I am ready for love.
For people that think that he screams all the time and all of that, it proves that he has full control over his voice.
There's screaming done well and there's screaming done poorly, and I feel like Joshua is screaming done well. Thank you very much.
Thank you.